My name is Robert Rickover. I'm an Alexander Technique teacher. I live in Lincoln, Nebraska. I also teach regularly in Toronto, Canada. For the last several years, I've been offering online posture and movement coaching sessions. This is the first of a 6-part series, which I've titled Lessons in Self-Direction Using the Principles of the Alexander Technique. And as that title implies, I'm going to be talking about describing and showing you how to use what are called Alexander Technique directions. Directions are basically a statement. A direction is basically a statement that you make to yourself about what you want in terms of quality of movement or quality of self-organization. I'm going to begin with a very simple direction, a very short and simple direction. And as the framework for exploring it, I'm going to use walking. So it'll help if you can find an area that you can walk around in and still watch or listen to this video. And ideally, it would have a hard surface. A wooden floor would be great. Tile surface would be okay. And if you own some hard-sole shoes, put them on for this the experiments that we're going to be talking about here. Because one of the things that walking provides is auditory feedback, which can be very helpful. So begin by just walking around the room for a few seconds and pay a little more attention than you might ordinarily do to the sound that comes when your feet arrive at the floor and what you notice about the pressure on the soles of your feet as your feet arrive at the floor. Just be a little more interested in that than you might otherwise be. Okay, now you can stop walking, and here's the direction I'd like you to use. It's a very simple one, as I said. I am free, or I'm free. Now, that's the direction that you basically think very, very softly to yourself. The softer, the better. It's also a direction that you're almost certainly going to forget, maybe almost right away. No problem. When you notice you've forgotten it, you just gently bring it back again. Some other aspects of this are you just want to think that direction and not add anything to it. Like, what kind of a crazy direction is this? Or what does that even mean? Those are all things to explore, but not during the experiments that you're going to run. Also, avoid any temptation to try to help that direction by doing something. There is really nothing special for you to do other than have that very light thought. So here's an experiment you could perform. Use that direction, I'm free, take it right into a walk, and then after perhaps 10 seconds or so, continue walking, but just throw that direction away. And then maybe a few seconds later, just gently bring it back again. If you have any difficulty throwing the direction away, and for some people that is a little tricky, you could simply substitute a nonsense thought. For example, I'm green. A thought that will have no impact on the quality of your movement. So you could begin by saying, I'm free, take a few 10 seconds of walking, then shift over to I'm green, and then a few seconds later, come back to I'm free. Do that a couple of times. And after you've done those experiments, think back on what happened when you threw the direction away or when you shifted to a nonsense direction. did you notice anything about the sound of your feet that changed at that point? Did you feel any change in perhaps the soles of your feet as you threw that direction away? Or did you feel anything anywhere else in your body? That's the kind of thing you want to look for. Well, I should reframe that or restate that. Not so much that you want to look for it during the little experiment, but look back on after you've completed the experiment. Now, these experiments are super short, 15, 20 seconds, 25 seconds max. And you can do them anywhere, and you can use any activity. I do recommend walking as a good place to start, but there's no reason why you can't use this process climbing stairs, chopping vegetables, singing, speaking, playing a musical instrument, anything that involves an activity that you do during the course of your day. So that's the kind of experiment to run. You use the direction, you stop using it, then you use it again. And you do this, again, for very short periods of time. Now, I want to quote something that F. Matthias Alexander, the developer of this process, said about this process. He said, "This is an exercise in finding out what thinking is." He's quoted saying that by his niece, Marjorie Barlow, in her book, An Examined Life. Page 130, if you want the actual reference. She then adds, if that statement of Alexander's, if that doesn't put it in a nutshell, I don't know. Because it's so hard for us to think. By that word, we mean to send a direction and not try and implement it, not try to carry it out, not even a teeny weeny bit. We're always inclined to think, oh, well, just a little bit, just give it a little nudge. And that's what you want to avoid. So see what you discover from this. And in the next video or two, we're going to talk about some of the possible issues that may have come up.